Hello, Emma. Clippy, say something. Can't hear you at all.
You can't hear us?
No, now I can. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Everybody. Welcome to StarCast. We're back. Sorry about that little glitch in the beginning, and sorry that we're late. We had some technical difficulties.
Better late than never.
Never
Fashionably
happens.
late.
Fashionably late, exactly. Wow, we had... Cliffy, would you please put the marijuana down?
I can't help it, man.
I know you're addicted.
I'm just stoked with all these new ships and stuff coming on pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I'm in a Brady Bunch with all these screens, like the Brady Bunch.
Da-da-da-da-da.
He's just so hot
I
and
help it,
steaming.
I
man.
know you're addicted. Mm-hmm.
I'm just stoked with all these new ships and stuff coming on
Oh, wait,
pipeline.
hold on. Hold on, I hear echoes.
Like I'm in a Brady.
There
Oh,
we go.
we're echoing.
Okay, I fixed it.
There's a bit of an echo for me, so.
We are completely flawless on this show. We never have anything ever go wrong. Ever.
Nope, never.
So, hey everybody, let's welcome our special guest tonight, Miss KateClick.
Oh, me. Hi. Hi.
Hi, KateClick. We also have Mr. Geo Get Money.
Whoop, whoop.
Woot woot with the Four Loco.
That's right.
Crazy.
Right, damn it.
He is loco. I got my water. Clifford, the marijuana smoking bastard down below me tonight.
Hey, now I
Marijuana
ain't the only one
squirrel.
smoking something.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana.
Marijuana. Gray-headed gamer. Drunk as always.
Almost. You made me.
I know. I said, get drunk, please. So he did.
You're not entertaining unless you're drunk.
Right. That's what I said. I said, you're really pretty terrible. So if you drink, at least you're a little more loosey-goosey, and that'll be better.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Berserker01, hello.
Hello.
Oh, with his PBR, he's trying to show us how much level of detail he can get within a rendered image.
Please sponsor all the sponsors.
All the sponsors, please sponsor him.
Right. Well, Loco's our sponsor. I wish.
Yeah. So, so
I don't.
Kate, tell us a little bit about yourself. We know who everybody else is, but who's Kate? What's she do?
Well, I guess I'm a British technology journalist.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on the BBC for about 10 years now, every week. So we go out around the world to all sorts of countries. So, yeah, and a massive Elite fan, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
I'm
No,
an Elite
we
Dangerous
won't.
fan.
We won't hang you by your toenails around here for.
Wait, Kate. I have a question, real quick, before you go any further. What do you think
Go on.
about that $60 DLC that you have to land on a planet? I don't understand where they get off with that.
You see, I paid £4,500 to buy a license to write a piece of fiction based in the game world during the Kickstarter. So I've got a lifetime expansion already. So
Oh, so you're okay.
I
You're
don't
good.
really
then.
care.
And me too.
Oh.
I'm good.
By the way,
Very
it's a
nice.
good book. If you guys ever get the chance to read it, it's a really good
God,
book.
I wish I could read, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what though? I mean,
It's a
I've been in all seriousness, I've been a games journalist for 20 years, and I see franchises like Call of Duty and Final Fantasy releasing premium AAA titles year after year, which aren't that much different. You know, football games, FIFA, the racing games, they release games with a few tweaks, a few new skins, and they charge you another 40 quid, 50 quid for it. So actually, it's not that different from that at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's for landing though. I'm like, why are they charging?
It's more than landing.
Or just what
Yeah, but
else
at
they
least
doing
they're
in
not
there?
charging you $1,000 for a ship you can't even fly yet.
Oh,
Oh.
shots fired
Ouch.
across the bow.
Ouch.
But we can pay $45 to get everything in a little Rover or Mustang. Just
Yeah,
saying, no DLC.
At the same time, though, Gio, we also have we're also going to have to pay extra to get Squadron 42 episode 2 and 3, or not episode 2 and 3, but the second and third ones.
Yeah, but
too.
each
So
one of those
We can
games
all
is like
agree to
12 hours
disagree
long
that
or more.
space games in general are amazing.
space is good.
That is.
Yeah.
I'm
Space-
just
And you know what?
saying.
It's supply and demand. If there are people there who will pay that money to play it, and the space gets populated to the point where it's fun to be a part of that universe, then companies have to make a profit, and they're always going to charge as much as they can. So you know, we'll see what happens in the fullness of time. All these things come down in price, but you know, people have thrown a lot of money at both of these games.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because they're just dying to get out into space and have some fun. So you know, and as long as we carry on throwing money at it, I'm afraid they're still going to carry on charging.
No,
Well,
that's
also
true.
Ray in chat made a good point. There's just that $60 gets you much more. That's just the initial start of it. It's going to lead into a lot, because I read into the Elite Dangerous. The $60 goes much farther than just landing on the deal. It's a lot of series that's going to go along with that expansion. That's included in that $60. So you are getting, I think, a substantial worth of your money if you only paid in initially just to play it.
It's like a if you guys have played Battlefield, Battlefield Premium, or if you played some of the other games out there that have the season pass or whatever, it's basically like a season pass. You get all of the premium content that's going to be released in 2016 with the Horizons pass. So I play a lot of Elite Dangerous. I'm not nearly as popular as Kate is in terms of streaming it, but
well, why people come to my stream is because the great thing about a sandbox game like Elite is that you can, and we do the same with Grand Theft Auto 5. My viewers come in and we join in together and we just do stupid stuff together. In the same space, fly at each other, find out ways to explode each other, find out ways to destroy each other, find out ways to, just have fun that are beyond the game mechanic that's provided for us. And I think any game that will allow you to do that will always have an audience in this kind of, in this environment. So,
Beautiful. Well
but hey,
said.
do you know what? Actually, I've Star Citizen kind of passed me by. I saw it and I was already into Elite and it kind of passed me by, but coming on this show and speaking to some of you guys, quite a lot of my viewers have been telling me about it, and the stuff that they've been telling me is just like made me go, and the videos that I've been shown has made me go, yeah, I might have to get myself involved in this game now, because I have to say, hands up, it looks awesome. Yes. And it sounds awesome. The EVA suit battles, and you just, I'm going to be pitching quite a lot of my money into this game probably over the next few months, I'm sure.
It is the BDDSE. Best damn space sim ever.
I am converted. I'll still love Elite Dangerous, but I'm definitely going to be putting my toe in the water of this game as well, and probably eating some Sasquatch while I'm doing it.
Like I said, I don't hate Elite. People think I hate Elite. It's just that, like I said, they got that $200 season. Now, that's the season pass, the $200 one. And then they just kind of market it as a full game when it's really not, because they're adding all this other stuff on. It's kind of almost like in beta or alpha phase, like in Star Citizen. That's my only problem with
it. The $200 actually gets you season pass forever. $60 gets you for next year. So it's kind of like a season pass, or like your average game runs about maybe it's got a year, maybe 2 years of extra content added, and then they kind of mill on to the next one. The $200 gets you all of their expansions, and they've got a lot of other crazy stuff to do in it. I'm always a huge Star Citizen fan, but I also believe one of those things is like the more space games we have, the more space is available. The more it's available for producers or companies go, space games are coming back. Maybe we should make a space game. The happier I'm going to be.
Yeah, because eventually. Eventually, whatever space game you're playing, eventually you're going to get a little bit bored and want to go to another game to play for a little while, and the more the merrier to play.
Beautiful, absolutely.
And if there's only one game, then that gives complacency to the developers, and they're like, yeah, we've got the market cornered here, whatever.
We don't have to improve.
Competition is good.
It is definitely
had
good.
That for a long time with Eve, and now we don't, which is good.
Exactly.
Well, my last question is, do you have to pay $60 every year? They drop some new stuff, or
there is going to be? So they're going to have a new season of content. It's likely to be every year. I don't know if it'll be $60 every year, but they are going to have a new season of content. And you can imagine if you look at it like sort of World of Warcraft or EverQuest, and people buy the world and then they buy expansions to have add-ons, and it's like that. They're going to be adding things onto it, which the game itself, the core game, you don't have to have those expansions to continue enjoying the core game. But if you want to go into those dungeons for the sake of understanding it in terms that we already know, then you will buy that expansion and you will go and enjoy that content, or you can carry on enjoying the content in the core universe. If that is enough for you and satisfactory for you, then you can do that too. So and there's with Horizons, not only is there going to be landings, there's going to be crafting, and as Raya said, there's going to be a whole load of other stuff which we don't understand fully yet, that it is like an add-on game in its own right. So hey, it's difficult for me to subjectively say. People say, should I get Horizons? It's difficult for me to say, because I love the game and I've already paid the lifetime expansion. So I'm like, yeah, buy it, please.
Yeah, you're in, yeah.
Me
populate
too.
My universe.
But I heard that they're going to be getting rid of that expansion, right? They're getting rid of the lifetime soon, I believe.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
limited.
last time.
I think it's very soon. The buy-in ends. So yeah.
So the deal is now, everybody, if you would like to get Elite Dangerous and have a lifetime LTI, get it now. Or
Put
forget
it now.
about
Mortgage your cat. Sell your kids. Whatever.
it. Yeah.
Your kids will grow up. They'll be gone soon. But Elite's gonna
So-
be there.
Just sell a couple of your Connies and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's
makes me
actually
wanna play Elite
14th of
Dangerous
September.
now.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah, let's get back to Star Citizen.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, let's go into our Spectrum news. What are we going to talk about tonight? Who's got Spectrum news?
Who's going first?
You go, Gio. Go.
Okay,
who's on
so
second?
Who's on? I don't know. Who's on third?
well, anyways, the Vanguard variants are finally here. We have the Warden. That's the original one that came out. That one is $250 and it comes with 2 years of insurance. And then the second ship we have is the Sentinel. This is like the electronic warfare, which we're going to get into later variant. It looks very awesome. I love the color. Then the I'm sorry, that one's $265 with lifetime insurance, by the way. And then we have the Harbinger. I just love that name, and it's green and nasty like an A10 Thunderbolt, I think they call it, and it's awesome. That one goes for $285, which also has LTI on it. Is it $285 or $280? I'm sorry, I think it's $285.
No.
Yeah, Ben adjusted the price. I haven't seen the sell.
It's $280. I'm sorry, it's $280, and that one also comes with LTI. And you could also update, because I know I've seen a lot of people complaining, like, oh, I already bought the Warden. You could just upgrade and pay the extra money. It's $30 for the Harbinger, or you can upgrade to the Sentinel for $15. And then this one also has the kits like the Retaliator base model. You would just pay $25 for the Sentinel, or $45 for the Harbinger, and then if you want to downgrade back to the Warden, that's an extra $10. So that's cool. You could pimp your ship out to however you want it, and it's looking beautiful. I don't know which one you guys are getting, but I may get the Harbinger.
Now, aren't those kits called B-Fuck?
What?
That would probably be a good one for Into the Crosshairs because some people got banned over that.
What?
Over
Don't
chat.
ban me, Domo.
What?
Yes, some people were using that lingo, that short-term lingo in RSI chat, and they got banned.
Are you serious? That's how it works
boy.
out. The B-Fuck.
I know,
I'll
and
buy
then
two
they
B-Fucks.
I know. Then they changed it to where you
it's like
can't
getting
use that.
banned- It's like
Really?
getting banned for calling for saying the big scam. The player handbook, or that handbook that players have made, which is the scam is abbreviated for like the Star Citizen Admirers manual or something like that.
Right.
But
You
That's-
can't start
that's
banning
silly.
people for venting, 'cause
Yeah.
then they start thinking there's cover up, right? That's just
That's-
fuel to the fire, right?
That's why I only go to Reddit now, because the forums are toxic, it seems, in a lot of ways. I don't know if it's changed lately. I haven't been in about 8 months. I don't even go to the official forums anymore.
I
I
stopped.
get
Oh,
all
a
my
long time ago.
information from internet shows and Reddit.
And then that was part of the reason I think that they Mr. Will left, because he's having a hard time getting that thing under control. It was ridiculous.
You know what, real quick, I just love the positive campaign that they got going on, the I'm a Star Citizen campaign.
Yep.
That's awesome. Make sure you guys hashtag that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And then also not represented by D Smart. I'm not going to say who that is, but make sure you hashtag that too and show all the positivity, because I love seeing finally some positive stuff from people other than people bashing and trolling.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty awesome.
And some inside info. My buddy Decoy Drone started that hashtag, the not represented hashtag.
Oh yeah.
He Skyped me and put it on. And he says, "Hey, I want to try to get this going." I was like, "All right, let's get it. Let's try to get it going." And boom!
Well, yeah.
That was amazing. I've never seen a hashtag take off that fast. But I'm new to Twitter, so
The best-
But that was
the,
amazing, man.
the best one that I saw was actually Board Gamers. If you've seen Board Gamers, he made a little picture with it. It's awesome. It's my favorite one of those.
Yes.
His
So
cat
we're not
picture.
allowed
We're not
to
going to
talk
talk about it.
And there's a
no.
whatchamacallit, who is signing the thing? Where's it at, Cliffy? The
It's
petition?
change.org. Yeah, change.org.
Yeah, we'll put that in the chat. Somebody could probably put it in there if you guys are looking for it.
Yep. It won't change anything, but it's awesome to get your voice out there.
Yes, definitely.
All right. We're gonna talk. The next concept stale is the Endeavor. What do you guys think about that?
Can't wait.
It's gonna be interesting. I heard that it may have like the module system that we've seen, like the Vanguard has the Retaliator. I guess you would buy like a base model and you could put what modules you want in there. or there's going to be like different variants. So I think that's going to be kind of cool to see how that turns out.
Yeah,
I'm really
the new
excited
big
about
ships.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, the Endeavor, the Crucible, all those ships coming out next. I'm more excited about those than half the ships they've already let out. I mean, we're talking about very specific, verse-changing ships, things that are, you know, I love the very specific ships, and you know, the Endeavor. What's the Hope? The Hope class?
That's,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
Just a medical ship, yeah.
That's, I mean, all that right there. That's
Isn't
immersion.
isn't the Hope ship the Endeavor? Actually, it's like
Yeah,
a variant
it's
of
the
it.
Hope class.
See,
yeah.
and this is where this came about because I remember Ben Lesnick talking about it on Reverse the Verse that basically the Endeavor will have science modules, it will have medical modules. Now, I don't know if they're going to just do the Endeavor and the Hope class, meaning the Hope has more functionality throughout the entire ship and then the modular pieces with it, or if they're just going to use the Endeavor as the base model with scientific modules and medical modules that go in. I don't know yet. I mean, because he keeps talking about the Hope, and I'm guessing the Hope's just going to be one of those specialized ships, probably.
Yeah, but you know, you never know because with the Vanguards, instead of doing, you know, a lot of module swaps, they actually have separate ships. So I'm wondering if the Endeavor is going to be the science ship and then the Hope be the hospital ship, actually different hulls, or will it just be swapping modules in and out? The Endeavor will have more science, less medical, and then the Hope have more medical than science, but you can swap them in and out, you know, to suit your needs. I like that they're adding so much interchangeability with the ships. I would prefer them to stick with modules and not just hull variants. Hull variants are very cool, but having the ability to take, say, a large ship and make it so, you know, multifunction is what makes this game so sweet.
Within reason,
Let me interrupt
within
real quick,
reason.
guys.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt real quick. Remember, everybody, questions. You guys want to ask any questions of us? Type in ! question in chat, which I just did just now. There's a link to a form. You go fill out the form, and you can ask a question, and we'll try to get to it as best we can. We only have about 15 minutes at the end of the show. Our new format is only an hour long, but we have an after show, which is like another 45 minutes or so, which we can just bullshit and talk about whatever. So if we don't get your questions answered in this, we'll try to do it over there. All right. Let's go on. Let's move on then to our next topic, which is from our friend here, Kate. We're going to talk about science.
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 More importantly, inflatable space elevators.
Ooh, inflatable space elevators.
What not to love? So this is a new story that basically a Canadian firm has been granted a patent to launch a space elevator, which is going to shoot cargo, including human cargo, 12.5 miles or so up into the stratosphere. And basically what this is going to be able to do is allow us to potentially make spaceflight much more affordable, because you won't have to launch people from a module from the ground, you know, full of fuel to get through the atmosphere. You'll basically go up in this 12.5 kilometer lift, or 12.5 mile lift, sorry, get to the outer stratosphere, and then ships will be able to dock up there. So this is potentially a real world Star Citizen, you know, coming to us in the next sort of, you know, decade or so. It makes potentially spaceflight really, really realistic for ordinary people.
Affordable is a
Very
key term.
exciting.
Yeah, affordable. And can you
Affordable.
explain the reason why it would even support itself? Could you explain how, you know, the rotation of the Earth and everything like that actually holds it up?
Well, they're basically going to be it's inflatable, and so it's sort of massively light and will go around with the Earth on inflations. I mean, I don't understand this.
Pendulum, like a pendulum effect, kind of, where you have a weighted at the end and
Yeah.
you spin it around, kind of
It
deal.
holds itself up because of the weight of it as the Earth's spinning.
I
And
get
what-
it. I guess it's a bit like swinging a bucket with water, and everything stays at the top, right? So this is going to stay around, and then spaceships will come in and dock above the stratosphere and be able to take people out into up to the space station if they want to, International Space Station, and even beyond. But it's going to make spaceflight a lot more affordable, which is really quite exciting.
Yep. And what a lot of people don't understand is it takes $10,000 per pound to take something into space. And that's because of the thrust to weight ratio. And people like Elon Musk are really punching in on that, you know, and reducing that, because, like, you know, his last few flights, he actually almost landed back on that floating platform in the ocean
Pretty
to
close.
reuse his main section. The whole way to make space flight affordable is reducing the cost per pound to get it into space. That's why we haven't gone to Mars yet. That's the only reason. We've got the technology to go to Mars. We just don't have the technology to throw all that weight into space feasibly enough, cheap enough for a single country to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And there was that thing, wasn't there, last year with sending people into Mars, or sending people colonizing Mars on a reality TV show or something. I don't know what happened. Mars One.
That's
not gonna happen.
a scam, dude.
I like the idea, and one of the things that it did very well was that it promoted the fact, because one of the things that people who think that space is kind of a sideshow or a distraction, a lot of them were saying like oh, no one really wants to go to Mars. We've got other problems at home, and the fact is there's always going to be problems at home, but there's lots of people out there, more people than you realize, who are interested in going to Mars, and things like this will help because it's really expensive. It's really expensive to do anything into space. But once you get into space, anyone who's played Kerbal Space Program knows this.
Yes.
Once you get into space, it's really easy. It's the Delta V.
The Delta V. Oh yeah,
so
Delta V.
Small. It's so small compared.
And it's not just about, it's not just about sending people and colonization. There, we are running, no matter what deniers try to say, we are running out of resources, essential resources on this planet, and one of the most essential resources we're running out of is water. And of course Horizon has gone over to Pluto, and there's every indication that there is a much more dense masses of frozen water in some of these planets that we could potentially bring back and replenish our stock. So there's all sorts of really important stuff that we can do if we can get out into space cheap enough to actually get out there and work.
This is
and bring
actually
resources back.
An absolutely great segue of water. Moving on to the next topic, which would be...
Would you drink your pee, people? Come on.
Would you drink your own piss?
Manny Pacquiao does.
I already do.
Yeah, dude, me and my wife actually just had an argument about this the other day because the Russian astronauts refused to drink it. And that's where I looked up how much it costs per pound to get into space. That's why I know that number right now. Because my wife's like, oh, they could just take more water up there. I'm like, no, it's so expensive to get stuff up there. That's the whole reason I know that number is because of the drink and pee thing.
Let's have a straw poll in chat right now. If you would drink your pee, type 1. If you would not drink your pee,
we'll do an actual poll.
2.
Hold on, we'll do a straw poll. But yeah, we already do right now, if you think about it. All the water we're drinking has been gone through bodies and everything already millions of times. So, yeah.
There's a great
drinker. I'm proud.
there's actually something similar. Like I think Bill Gates is doing something for Africa to take pure toxic sludge and turn it into drinkable water. And he helped develop technology to give it to lower income countries or third world countries around the world to try to get more drinking water, usable drinking water out there. So it's the kind of technology that's important, not only in space, but also down here on Earth.
All right, I put a straw poll up, guys. Go ahead and vote on it. Would you drink your own pee if you had to go to space? And
what's amusing to me, though, is the fact that the Russians have refused to do it. And it's just like the Americans are like, yeah, pee.
It just gets recycled. I mean, it's just going through a recycling deal, and it comes out pure water again.
Yeah, it's not like the straws... Going
You're
from
totally right, though. We drink pee all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Most of our water is recycled.
Yep.
Drink your pee, people. Just drink it.
It wouldn't. Yeah, it's not like you have like a Texas catheter on, which I used to be a nurse. I tell you about these things. It's a condom with a tube at the end. That wouldn't be like going from that into your mouth. Okay, so that's no.
That's wrong. That's wrong on so many levels.
It is.
Okay, I don't live in the city, so I don't go through the...
I got
a water well out there that pumps directly from the ground, from in the earth, through the aqueducts that's under the ground. Well, cows, horses, any animal on the planet is using the restroom on the surface. It filters down through the soil, through the rocks, everything, back down to the aquifer, period.
Yep.
So, no matter what, you're still...
It is sand-filtered, Cliff.
Yeah.
Sand-filtered pee is the best pee.
Sand and rock. Yeah.
All right. Well,
we have a pea connoisseur.
Is this a good pee?
I love a nice pea with some cheese.
Nice. It's a good.
His favorite is the Chateau P 47.
Yeah, like 47, 48.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to drink Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Noir. Yeah.
Has this been filtered?
No, probably not. All right, let's move on to our. We'll get back to some Star Citizen directly. Our citizen gossip.
Citizen gossip.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to talk about tonight.
My key.
Mm-hmm.
So on Reddit, a user by the name of Chad the Wad had an interesting experience. He was eating lunch on near a crowded street in LA or in Santa Barbara, and walking through this crowded street was a very sweaty Chris Roberts. He stepped
It's like
out
seeing
onto,
Jesus back in the day, right?
Yeah, it's just like seeing Jesus out of the day.
Mm-hmm.
He saw him walk out of the crowd, and he apparently stopped him and talked to him for a moment. And Chris Roberts, being the genuine guy that he was, stopped and talked with him. You know, they talked about Star Citizen a bit, and he even got a picture with him. Apparently, he was eating just near the restaurant he was eating at was right near the office, and Chris Roberts was coming back from a tennis game that he was playing. So, but it's one of those interesting things that shows you about like how the developers of Star Citizen are. Is, you know, someone could just randomly, you know, find Chris Roberts in a crowd and be like, Chris Roberts, and he's like, hey, and he sits there and talks to you for a bit, even if he's like dripping with sweat from playing tennis.
I was going to say, did that guy wash his shirt afterwards? Because he could use that for DNA.
He could probably.
Look at that glorious sweat.
No, that's
So, yeah,
cool.
no, it was cool. Little
I don't
thing.
know how many of you guys, if you actually got a chance to talk to Chris Roberts, have any of you guys got to talk to him
Yeah.
in person? I know
I
Clifford.
haven't talked to
Clifford,
Chris Roberts.
Twice.
yours is in person is completely different, and I don't want to know anything about your sexual activities. Okay, just,
No, but I'd say the best moment we had with Chris Roberts was when after at South by South. Well, was it South by Southwest? No, it wasn't. It was at. No, it could have been South by Southwest. Is either at that? Yeah, it was South by Southwest because it was after his not interview, but his panel that he had with IGN, and he met up with us at the bar, what we call Bar Citizen. So he came over there. It was him and two other guys, and he sat down at the table beside me with Squirrel and a bunch of the other guys, and we sat there and started talking. And he just unleashed a bunch of other information that I don't know if he wasn't supposed to talk about, but he didn't care. He was just like there drinking mixed drinks with us and just going on. And then after that, we just asking him about everyday life things, and he is just the most openest person. You know, I've always learned that if you sit down and actually talk to a person face to face, you can tell right away whether they're genuine or not in a natural setting. And I don't see why anybody would have beef with him because he's so
a
passionate
very
in
good
what
guy.
he does for a living.
yeah, I was gonna say I did an interview with him, and he was just fantastic, very friendly, very personable. Like went out of his way to talk to me, and so
Yeah, and he has no reason, or no malice to waste anybody's money who's pledged to this project. He is very strict and very passionate of where he wants this adventure to go to, and the end result to go to it.
Yep. Somebody else was gonna say something. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, it's okay. I was going to say, in fact, looking at that Reddit thread, there was at least one CIG employee who told a story about at I think it was PAX East that he was just walking down the street of Boston, and there was like 6 or 7 different backers who were following him, and he was talking with them as they were walking, and at one point he stopped and he just talked with them just in a normal kind of genuine face. Like he's one of those weird guys that he doesn't really let the kind of fame get to his head, and as often is quoted as they say, people say that he's one of us. He's a gamer. He's doing this because he likes games, not because he could make a lot of money. Because he's already made a lot of money in his lifetime. He's already made like an impact in the gaming industry.
Yep.
But he's just got that I need to do something, kind of that itch to create.
Charisma.
Yeah, he's got the charisma, but he's also very good at just, he understands who his backers are. He understands who his fans are.
He rolled a natural
so-
20 on charisma. He really did.
Yes.
Here, I'm going to
Natural
post the.
20. What?
I'm going to post a picture in chat where we met him at the bar, basically. And that picture right there I posted in chat, that's just how many people were surrounded by him. And he just took the time to answer all our questions. And he was having a great time.
He did turn water into wine at that point.
He did.
And you know what? Gio
And
was
got
telling me
absolutely
before.
shit-faced.
Yeah, Gio's telling me before the show that Chris was even very polite when he caught Gio in his closet.
Right.
And told him to get the hell out of my house. He was very nice about it.
He was. Yeah.
You know, I think people tend to forget that the people, particularly people in really prominent positions, you know, in both Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen have, you know, the same kind of figurehead that is famous throughout the industry. And these people are not here to screw us. You know, they are fans themselves. They are trying to create something that makes everybody happy, and everything they do comes from that place. And we're really quick to criticize. People are really quick to criticize and think that they're being shafted. But you know, ultimately, I don't think anybody who's a massive fan of the genre to the point where they would put themselves in the public eye to that extent is going to try and deliberately shaft us. They want to create something that we love because they want to be loved and they want to love it themselves. So,
especially a genre which has been dead for almost 30 or almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
FPSs, zombies,
90s.
now dinosaurs, but space games are having are coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, but you guys are talking with common sense. A lot of these trolls and hater dickheads don't have enough common sense to even figure that out. They don't have the intellect to understand that.
Speak your mind, goddammit.
I'm just saying. They're gonna say it now, like, oh my gosh, you guys are just throwing your money at the screen.
Yep.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's, I can't believe people, and I know how, you know, a person's smart and people are stupid, but I can't believe how a person can be so ignorant to not know what they're pledging for. We do it every day, whether it's the stock market, whether it's a good cause. You know, you gotta know before, you know, read information. Take the time to read.
Research.
Here's the thing, that a friend of mine who's worked in the industry for several years, he actually worked on the Master Chief Collection and Rise Son of Rome. He worked as a QA on both those things, and he has a good point. He's a streamer, but he right now on Twitch, and he always has a good point on talking about it. He believes that in general, the gaming as a industry in terms of consumers are probably the least mature because it's such a young art. Or it makes sense. If you're going to go buy a car, you're going to go research that car. You're going to go test drive that car. If you're going to be investing in a company, you're going to spend the time to redo research and investing. I think most of us who backed Star Citizen or even backed other Kickstarters like Elite Dangerous or any of the other space revival games, we had an idea of what we were going to get when we first backed it. But the problem is that that's not common practice among gamers these days. We have a lot more like pre-ordering. We just pre-order because it looks cool, because a cool trailer came out.
Or we're going to get some kind of trinket.
Exactly.
You know what's interesting as well about our relationship, the human race's relationship with technology. If you look at everything else in our lives that we buy, you know, high-priced consumer items, we expect it to work. Our computers, we forgive them an awful lot, right? Your computer crashes, a piece of software busts up some of your hardware, whatever. You go, oh, turn it off and turn it on again, right? Imagine if your car did that. Imagine if your washing machine did that. You'd be like, what the actual fuck is going on? But with computers, we're like, oh, you know, my computer's playing up today. Oh, whatever. You know, I'll reboot it. It'll be fine. So we do have this strange kind of cultural relationship with technology. And you're right, Zerk. You know, it's about it's a new cultural phenomenon in the overall scheme of human evolution. It's a very new thing for us, and we're still kind of getting to grips with it. And so we're it's a bit like having a delinquent teenager. You forgive it because it's creative and it's kind of special, but you know, it goes off the rails a few times. And you know, and it's an interesting relationship we have with our computers that is different from any other high-priced consumer item we take.
And I think one of the major things is that it's because of that forgiving nature, and also because of the newness of the technology, people aren't as willing to do the research they would do for other technologies, for other things that they buy on a normal basis. And as things are getting more expensive, people are starting to have that experience, that oopsie experience, where they back or they like, you know, say they pre-order a game like The Order 1886 that came out recently. It was universally panned, but people still bought it. People still pre-ordered it because of the hype. And I think that's one of the problems with that Star Citizen and other Kickstarters have, is that people will buy it on the hype alone and not do any research, and then they expect what they got in the hype, not necessarily doing the research as a result. And so that's kind of what we're experiencing with Star Citizen right now, and that a lot of there's people who coming in and being like, you know, oh, this game's horrible. I expected this perfect game. It's like, but you didn't do the research, and so it's a learning experience, as it were.
All right, Mr. Geo and Cliffy, you guys wanted to talk about some other topic tonight. What do you got? What do you got? In the crosshairs.
Yeah, I'm glad we brought this up because somebody was saying, "Oh, you guys are just talking about $250 shit." Well, guess what? We're bringing it up. Yeah, the Vanguard. Okay, now it's an awesome ship. That's my favorite single fighter ship, but I must say that I think that price is a little on the expensive side compared to. We look at the Retaliator. That thing is $275. Now we get the Harbinger. That's $280. How is that more than a dedicated bomber? I don't know what's going on with these prices, and then I feel bad for all my people who got to pay those stupid VAT taxes, or anybody who got to pay taxes on that, because it's ridiculous. And then you look at something like the Banu Merchantman, that was only $250. Like, those were very good price ships. Now things are getting a little bit out of hand, if you ask me, with the price of these ships, even though I know it's going to be like this fucking death ass whooping machine, but that is a lot of money for a single fighter or dual seat fighter, in my opinion. So I don't know what's going on. I would like to somehow, if they could explain how these ship prices go, I would love to know.
I'm sure Cliffy will want to say something. Go ahead, Cliffy.
Well, the other thing I could find out that makes these three ships stand out from
What's that?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
No, what? I'm just listening. Zerker's having some background complications.
Family life, buddy.
Yeah.
No, what I find, I think where this pricing's coming from, okay, if you're digging deep into these ships, which I like to do a lot of times, the Retaliator, okay, this Harbinger, okay, one difference from the Retaliator, right off the bat on top of my head, this has more fuel to go more deep space. When you're in with your armada and you're going to go to this danger zone and you're needing to scout it out, this is going to be your ship that you will send out. Not your Idris, not your small fighters. This is the ship you will send out farther because it has the fuel capacity to reach the destination, to pre-plan of what's going to be out there and detect. And second, this thing has way more armor than the Retaliator. It is a lot thicker skinned ship. That extra metal costs money. It costs a lot more money. And that me being in the piping industry, natural gas industry, well, when we do pipelines, the heavier wall, the thicker wall we have to meet a certain pressure that goes through that pipeline, the steel is going to cost more money because you're putting more metal into that pipe to withstand that pressure.
Cliffy.
So
spaceships.
It is the same concept. No. And also, if you take a look at these ships, look at the weaponry. These ships have guns on it I have not seen before. It has a massive cannon on it that I have not seen, that the Retaliator does not have. And it doesn't have the missile capabilities that this have. So maybe the Harbinger, they're warranted on the pure firepower that this has versus the Retaliator. Now the Retaliator, including the bomb bays, adds a little hefty price on it because it's got heavy hitter torpedoes. Well, this thing does have torpedoes, but plus the missile turret on top of it, which is a new technology I haven't seen before. So how do you price a new technology versus regular torpedoes? Those are some of the questions that I would want to ask SIG. Or it's kind of like you can't really define it right now or fine-tune it because there's not a persistent universe that has a market that sets the price for these weapons. So I don't have a real hard gauge to go by because this is new sci-fi fantasy stuff that they're creating that doesn't have a metric.
The bigger the pew-pew, the more you can charge for it, basically. I think that's a standard rule of thumb.
That's a good equation.
Yeah, because I think right now it's pretty much arbitrary. That's the real question is this brings up a good question, but it brings up a good question overall is what justifies the price of every one of these ships? I mean, like, what makes a Constellation $250? What makes an Idris $1,000? What makes a Carrack, what was it, $500, $550, something like that?
$350.
$350. What makes these prices? Are they worth it? And I think that down the line, that might bite CIG in the butt. might bite them in the ass is that the fact that people are gonna be like, "Whoa, this isn't worth $250." It's like, what is worth $250?
Yeah, and see, like you bring up the carrot. Well, let's see here. If it's $350, okay, the carrot was kind of a special ship. One, you have a rover that goes into it, a separate ship that's in it on the backside. Plus, you have 4 modules that goes to it, 3 or 4 modules. Then it has the specialized array for finding jump points, large jump points for exploration. So, you know, and they haven't came out with a ship that compares to it as far as like actually having another jump point array to it. If they come out with a smaller ship, but it still has a jump point array to it, you know, then it might be a little bit less because it's a smaller array for a smaller ship for mapping jump points of that size. So that's where I would think they would build the metric to that ship. So, you know, and the Harbinger isn't it? It's an Aegis ship, right? Okay.
Yes.
And
my favorite ship maker.
And so far as we've seen with Aegis, they're pretty expensive ships. They're the high militarized ships, and they usually push the bounds of technology because it's for the UE military front. So, and that's where I think some of those ships become maybe higher priced because, as we know, military, even in the U.S. military, you know, you pay a higher price for powerful toys. And it's just the same with NASA. NASA's spaceships are billions and billions of dollars they spend, and you know, these modules that go up to just, you know, kite materials to back and forth, half of that shit, when it comes back down, burns up in an atmosphere, and that's a couple $1 million that just burns up.
Which is good stuff.
Yeah.
Gio, let us know. Roll us out of here. What do you think? Final thoughts on this topic?
What I think, like I said, I like the ship. I got one, of course. I just think, like I said, 250. When I see the Merchantman and the Constellation and a Retaliator lined up with a fighter like this, even though I know it's powerful and all that, it's just a dedicated bomber compared to the Harbinger. I just don't understand how it's $5 more than that. I know it's long range and all that stuff. It just seemed like ships back in the day were a little better priced. And I've seen a lot of people complaining, so that's why I brought it up. And people always say that we are white knighting for Star Citizen and all that. So I'm like, okay, let's bring this topic up and bring it to the forefront. I just think they should, for ships like this, I don't think no single fighter ship should go this high past this limit that we have right now. I think that's the highest it should go, and everything should be lower, because that's kind of crazy for a two-seat fighter ship like that goes deep out into space. I know it's cool and does all the awesome stuff, but that's just a lot of money for that type of ship.
Yep. All right. Well, that's pretty good. Let's wrap it up and move on to alternate dimensions, where we're going to talk about a new game of the week that we found. It's also another space game, and then we'll jump into Q&A time. So let's hop into that.
What's the game?
All right, so the game is called Pulsar Lost Colony. It was a Kickstarter back in 2013. I know there's a lot of people who are interested in Star Citizen who are also interested in a game called Star Trek Online. And there's a lot of people who were very disappointed with how Star Trek Online ended up. So if you want that Star Trek experience, you want that multi-crew, you want to be in the your engineer, you want some, Scotty being like, I'll give it all she got. I can't do accents.
She get.
But
it's no good, Captain. She's gonna blow.
She's gonna blow.
Exactly.
That's rubbish
you want
as
to
well.
be Scotty. You want to be Mr. Spock. You want to be Kirk or Picard or who your favorite starship captain you can. It's a single player game with up to 5-player co-op with away missions. And it plays a lot like Faster Than Light. They've been showing it off a lot. There's a lot of YouTube videos up there about this, and they released it a couple days ago. I think on the 27th. 27th to early access on Steam. It's $25 right now. It's the graphics are a lot of people like the back Star Citizen because it's just so pretty, and this game's a little bit more dated, but what it lacks in graphics, it makes up for in just scope.
Yeah,
it's a huge, randomly generated galaxy. It's just completely procedurally generated with a huge multi-crew ship. So it's definitely something to check out.
Yeah, like you hit it on the nail on the head there. You said the magic word that everybody loves: multi-crew.
Multi-crew, yep. It'd be great. It's great if you want to get some friends together and get that multi-crew fix for Star Citizen. And there are classes, though. I think there are 5 classes, like captain, pilot, engineer, weapons officer, and science officer, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I think that's called science. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can have one of each class, and you can be beyond just Star Trek. You can be your Captain Reynolds or Kaylee or whatever from Firefly. Just
There's a real-
You just made me tingle.
There's a real conundrum with games like games like this, which require a number of people initially, and that is, how do you get that instant kind of volume of people to populate, to give you the crew? Because you can buy that game and love that game all you like, but if it's only you and no one else is there to play with, then it's kind of a dead loss. You can't do anything else with it. It's a really brave thing to be going for, is a multi-crew.
It's also NPCs. I believe that if you don't have a role, if you only have like 2 people, then they populate the rest with NPCs. But I don't think they go on away missions with you.
Guild Wars didn't work very well in that respect, though, right? I remember playing Guild Wars, and it was just like NPCs, meh.
Yeah.
So, but this is the kind of game that you wanna. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it with 5 friends. You're gonna get it with your friends, at least one buddy that you can hang out with, just because it's so built around that concept. So.
You mean I got to make friends to play a game?
Yeah, I know.
Sucks.
It does suck.
Maybe my beard will come in handy.
It will. Real helpful.
It will.
Right.
It's a great beard. All right, guys. So that's it for the week for our alternate dimensions. We'll find another one at some other point next week. We'll see what we can dig up for our next game. All right, it's time for Q&A time.
Hey, did I start drinking beer for nothing, Domo? We're not going to talk about Social? The biggest damn release this week?
Now.
Oh my
It's
god!
not a
big deal.
Yeah, actually.
All right.
How did we skip that?
I don't know.
How about one? Just one. Give me 1 minute.
Oh no, you can have a couple minutes. I'll give you a couple because I got.
Yeah.
Alpha,
Otis.
1.2.
That's what she said.
Yeah, Otis was distracting Geek Dome. That's why he forgot.
I didn't forget. You guys were, anyway. So it's cool.
I wanted to remind you, but I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you can
because
interrupt
it's your
anytime
show.
you want. Jeez.
Oh, I see how you do, Gray-headed gamer. We see how you do him.
So, Alpha 1.2, if you have not downloaded Social Module yet, I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about it because some people have really bad internet connection. And a lot of people are saying, well, all you can do is walk around. If you don't go download the Social Module and go walk around, you're an idiot because this is amazing. ArtCorp looks beautiful. The chat system works flawlessly. We've got emote. You can dance, salute, threaten. You can do all kinds of stuff. And that's what makes MMOs, Yeah, granted, it's not like key gameplay, but I got to dance with somebody. It was probably another dude, too. My wife would probably go, what the hell?
Dance with
But
somebody.
it's amazing.
Best time.
The landing sites,
Okay.
the
Okay.
shops, you can't buy nothing right now. You can't do nothing.
All right.
I love your priorities there. You can dance, salute, threaten. So
Yes.
In that order.
that's your Friday night sorted, right?
Yes, just go out and download and play it.
I was
Social
gonna
Module
play
is
it,
beautiful.
but it didn't work because I no, what I'm saying is I have it, but apparently I have to re-update it right now, and so while I was gonna start it up, it just about crashed the stream. So we can't do it now, but we'll see how
Oh,
much.
damn it!
But there's one
I
other
was getting error number 9, I believe it's called,
Number
timeout
9?
error, and
Number
you actually
9?
have to shut everything down and come back in, and that's a bug they have now, and they're starting to fix some of the clipping issues where you can actually clip through walls and go to places you're not supposed to go, because right now ArtCorp is actually tiny. You've got a lot more we can explore later. They just got it blocked off now.
Mm-hmm.
They're working on the main area. You can't buy nothing. I can't wait for that. What is it? The clothing store?
You
Yeah,
can't go
the
there
closing.
yet. Costco, yeah.
Yeah, Costco.
Yeah.
You can't go in there
Wagged out.
yet. But like Astro Amata is gorgeous. Oh my god, it's beautiful. We've already seen Dumpers Depot, so that wasn't a big deal. But like G-Lock, the bar.
Apparently,
Amazing.
my skinny brother, works there at the bar because he's wearing the same things I wear. But
Yeah.
so it's
Did
okay.
you? Here's the thing to do. Here's a little tip. Get in the game, and just walk across the bridge and stand there and look up.
And
Oh, yeah,
watch,
no,
the
watch the stuff
fly
fly
by.
by.
If you can get to the higher bridge, the one that's just a little bit further,
Yeah.
you can. It feels like you can just reach up and touch the ships.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just they come that close to you,
And it's cool
you haven't
because,
lived
you know-
until you've seen a cutlass fly by, and you feel like you could reach up and just touch the
Yes.
bottom of the cutlass.
Yep.
So let me
And
get
it's
this straight.
not like real stagnant either. You get like a Cutlass and a Mustang and then a Gladius, and it
And a 300,
really
yeah.
has a real alive feel to it. my God, go just.
It looked like it
Yeah.
ran real smooth too.
Oh,
yeah.
it's amazing. I couldn't believe how good mine was running. Unbelievable.
We
CIG,
gotta
Let me
get.
get
Oh,
this
by the
straight.
way, CIG, we gotta give you guys kudos for that. You guys got it on your deadline.
on
And that's-
time.
On time. We don't give them credit for that. We always give them shit for delaying shit. So this time, you
And it-
guys, round
And
of
it's not a
applause.
bug. And it's not a buggy mess. Which
No,
is
it's not a
another
buggy
thing.
mess. No, from what I've
I
seen,
didn't
I haven't
do it.
got in yet.
No, I haven't got a single bug yet. If you want, I don't want to plug my own channel. Yeah, I want to plug my own
Yeah,
channel.
you can plug your
on
we gotta do
my
that.
on my YouTube
With-
channel.
Yeah.
I did a video, and my videos are always 4 to 7 minutes because the attention span of modern day people sucks. And next thing I know, I get done
What were
with my
you
video, I'm
saying?
like, oh, this is great. And I was recording for 30 freaking minutes straight, and I think I squealed and giggled probably 1,700 times. It is just beautiful.
It is.
You just need to go play it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Kate was going to say something.
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, so we've progressed from dance, salute, threaten, fondle your spaceship. That's the next
Yes.
step.
Yes.
You can't fondle. You can look at it from afar and pine
There's-
for it.
I think the best area that I've been to in there, I went on the bridge and looked, was walking into the customer service area and looking down upon the ship, the Connie down there, and watching the people work on it.
Jobwell. Yeah, in back
Yeah.
of Jobwell.
Yeah, yeah, it's where they have the customer information desk, and they have the other computers which we would interact with your bank and etc. You can look over there and see the ship that's landed, watching them work on it. And what I found myself doing in this game was mainly I would go up to walls and alleys and just walk along the walls and actually stare at objects on the wall and look up, look down. The lights, the shadows, they're perfect on the metal, and how because some of the shutters are down on some of the shops, and if you're looking up and looking down, you can see it change in the shadowing.
Yeah, I was like
in
walking
between
along
the
the
grading.
alley.
It's just
I was
great.
walking through the alleyway looking at the garbage on the ground and like
Oh,
sort of like
newspapers. They got an
Yeah.
incinerator back in there
Yeah.
to burn your
Incinerator,
garbage.
Now,
Get the
I
fuck
will.
out of here.
I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate and say there really isn't much to it other than that, though. It's
No, just
pretty
looking
much
around.
walking around,
Yeah.
No
around
doubt.
other people.
I was going to
No
stream
doubt.
it, but you couldn't stream it for more than like a half hour because there's
No.
you
Well,
can
I streamed it for about an hour last night, and because I was like Gray, where I just like walking around, just like, yay, this is so cool, what kind of crazy shit's going on.
Yeah.
I also tried to convert people. I tried to be a street preacher for about 20 minutes. That didn't work, but it's that kind of stuff that's interesting. Like there's already been drug deals. Street preachers, prostitution, like you name it, and someone's tried to do it in the social module thus far.
Well, okay,
So
I
that's-
get
beat up
all
on
that
here.
other stuff, but prostitution, these guys, I would not take any of these guys and bang them. They, I got the same
I can
haircut
tell
I
you
do.
one thing that would change social module and make it amazing: paintball guns. A
And
friendly,
or just
yeah,
real
yeah,
guns.
fist fighting and
I wanna do
paintball
it.
guns.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a first-person shooter like I'm gonna kill you. No, hide and go seek with paintball guns. I would be in there 6 hours a day.
All right, well, let me. We got one other thing I want to show everybody before we do the Q&A because we're running out of time. But definitely, guys, go check that out. But I want to show you guys this, which is the landing procedure on Nix, which is not on YouTube for some reason.
Oh,
Sure,
yes.
somebody's probably
Yeah,
grabbed
yeah.
it and stuck it up there, but
It's on stupid Vimeo.
Oh, you mean the thing that you could land
Shut
planet
up.
side and we don't have to pay DLC?
Oh,
to
you
split the
stop it,
community?
Gio.
Oh, here we Geo.
Just
Hey.
saying, that's just $45. Get you this, baby. Doesn't split the community. Just
oh
saying.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so what's happening here is the ship has come into orbit or in the atmosphere, and then they've set up the automatic landing procedure to take over, and so the hangar the base is pulling it in and guiding.
Yeah.
it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because this is Trindane did a fabulous job when he did the Galactic Guide on Nix, and basically Nix is the broken down, mining facility that is now overrun in lawless space. Basically, it's a lawless area. No governments, people who have been shunned by the UEE. This is the place to go if you want black market stuff.
Okay, Gio just stole the show with the baby.
I'm
Hey,
loving
yeah.
Mini Geo. Mini Geo.
Baby Geo.
Jill, junior height.
Yell for us, baby Geo. Yell for us.
So you're famous now, little baby G.
You showed me this earlier, and I have to say, my first reaction was, is this real in-game footage, or is this kind of like
yes, 100% in-game footage? And the thing you can tell it's in-game footage is because it has a real bad stutter right when he's about to land. Unfortunately, it had a frame drop. But that is actual in-game, ready to rock and roll footage.
And it's
not too much different. It's the same kind of stuff that we saw at the PlanetSide demo, only, like, was it last year? When they landed on ArcCore Area 18. It's the exact same kind of, like, automatic landing system is what it was.
Which I can't wait for, Zerker. I cannot wait to land at ArcCorp like that.
Me too. They must be having, like, either Track IR or an Oculus. Probably Track IR at this point.
Yeah.
They're looking around.
When you shared this with me, you were saying that eventually they're planning to let you actually pilot yourself through and
you can land yourself if you want.
Not initially though.
Right.
It's going to be an eventual thing.
But that's the thing. Everyone that I've ever known, and I've been working with professional gamers for 20 years, and everyone I've ever known who plays video games seriously, the first thing you do when you get a video game is, how can I break it? How can I drive off the track? Blow up a building I'm not supposed to blow up, go somewhere that I'm not supposed to go. And I guess with something on an epic scale like this, that's a really big thing for them to say, okay, we now have created this environment to such a solid extent that you can go and try and break it, and we're confident you won't be able to. And that's because they know that we're going to try and break it immediately that we get our hands on it freestyle.
Yep, the first thing you're going to try to do is go somewhere you're not supposed to go.
Right, you're going to say, okay, I want to fly over that mountain to the left.
It's human nature.
Yeah. But they're going to the planets will be complete. Like, if you go to this planet, it'll be a completely rendered planet. You'll be able to fly around it. Whether there's places to land and sea, probably not. I mean, it might just be just craggy rock everywhere, and you can't even find a place to land. But it technically should work.
And what's good about this is, if people forget, this is all open development. This is what has been in the forefront. This is why Chris loves doing this, because he's like, break it. This is how we find this stuff out, because QA testers can QA all they want, but it's the gamers that will do things that we never expected. He said that, I don't know how many times on Tim for the Chairman, that he said that's why he loves this, because they get instant feedback on what's been broken and how they broke it.
Well, at least they actually showed a trailer, unlike some games. They didn't show nothing, just an announcement at Gamescom. Well, this is for somebody. Someone keeps being on my dick in the chat, so I'm going to keep letting them have it every time.
All right. Okay, so we've got the Q&A.
reason we got Gio on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I love you, man.
That's right. I don't get a chance to bash trolls live, so it's awesome when they're on the chat. I actually get to give them the hammer. They kiss my butt.
Kiss my butt. All right.
Gio your butt. Nah.
I got a bigger hammer than you, Sunshine.
That's right. Get it, Kate.
All right, this is a question. It was short Q&A time. We only got like 6 minutes left, so we're gonna have to make these a quickie. I'm gonna grab a couple over here real quick. This is a question related to what we just talked about. How do you guys imagine the sequence of landing on a planet be like? Will we be able to enter orbit from any direction, go down to the planet? We have an orbit computer, figure out everything from there on in. Sort of like maybe at the X Games, X Rebirth and that kind of thing, where they had sort of like the ring you had to line up through. What do you guys think?
I think they've said that there's several planets can have multiple landing zones. So I think you're probably, depending on which way you approach, you will have access to those landing zones until you can get to the right area. Because they've talked about orbital instances and stuff like that in the past. So probably more like the trajectory in which you're coming into the planet will determine which available landing zone is, which one you can get to, and you can kind of fly around the planet a little bit to try to get some different landing zones.
And I think what will help too is like the original multi-crew that they showed is that there's a space station out there, and they're saying, oh, Connie, we're done running your tags and everything, you're cleared to land at, and then when they say that, it'll probably pop up on your which zone do you want to land in, punch it, and then it'll course your trajectory to where you need to land.
Yeah, and it might not let you do 100% manual. Think of like the old privateer. You can pick your landing zone, but once you get into a certain point, I mean, you got to figure it's all about programming and stuff. You may just have to go on that automated line that they give you. Who knows?
All right, next question. Okay. What do you guys think of Star Citizen hitting 88 million?
Big deal.
Yeah, I said a long time ago we'd hit 100, and I'm just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah,
I'm-
100 would be cool.
We've seen it. We
Yeah.
hit 1 million every 2 weeks or every month these days. It's
Chris
great.
Roberts, he said he expects 100 million. He already said that.
Right.
So there's probably nothing
You
new
gotta
to Chris
figure-
Roberts.
Every ship sale is going to be 1 million, no doubt. 100 million will be a neat threshold, but other than that, it's like, yeah, that's expected because you got new ships. You got people like Clifford that buy 9 or 10 of the same ship.
1,000.
So you're going to make a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
Mika Noah.
I think we're
Got you, Junior.
We love you, Cliff.
Real quick question: will we be able to drive buggies down at ArcCorp? This is from ZodaStream. Walking around ArcCorp, you can see buggy charging station and a buggy logo on the ground in front of it.
Yeah.
No,
Lando,
someone tried it on YouTube actually. They
Yeah.
parked it in the elevator. He tried to get out, and he went up, and it disappeared. So
Right, magic.
Yeah. Lando's actually trying to push for that. Because you can't actually take your cart up there, but he's trying to push for having carts in ArcCorp right now.
Mm-hmm.
gonna be
there's more than just one area. We're in Area 18, but they said there's something like 2 or 3 other areas that's going to be connected to Area 18. It makes sense.
And even with the buggy system, they can make them into like basically taxis. There's a guy there that charges the buggy right there. You'll see guys sitting there charging the buggy and said, "Where do you like me to take you?" "Oh, I'd like to go over there to go do some shopping on area 17 or 20," and then you hop in the buggy and they take you along there.
All right, last question. This is for Cyberwolf from Cyberwolf. Where have I gone? Why don't I post 100 questions anymore?
What?
Cyberwolf used to post questions all the time.
Like
on
1,000 questions. We start up the stream and it'd be like a blammo of questions because in the old days we just used to post them in chat, so we'd have to grab them and then stick them in the Skype, and it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I remember that.
So where is he? Come on, Cyber. Where have you gone? What have you done? All right. While he's waiting to answer that, let's go around the room here. Mr. Berserker, where can people find you at, sir?
Well, on Twitter, you can find me at Berserker01, and I do a Monday through Saturday. I stream on my channel on Twitch it's Berserker01 or twitch.tv/Berserker01.
Okay.
It's called Station. We do nothing but space games, so including Star Citizen.
Awesome. Next up is Mr. Gray-Headed Gamer. Go.
At Gray-Headed Gamer on Twitter and youtube.com/user/Gray-Headed Gamer, and I put out stuff periodically. It all depends on what's released. Right now, I am hung up on Social Module. I love just running around, dancing, threatening,
Squeeing.
and other stuff that Kate said.
Yeah. All right, next up, Mr. Cliffy.
Hey, well, I'm Clifford, aka Miku. You can find me on Twitter, Clifford_Miku, or on Twitch, Clifford_aka_Miku. And sorry I haven't been streaming that much. Is because right now I'm in the season of fall college classes, and I'm taking a lot more work at the work. So streaming is going to be on the walls for me for a while until
tens of thousands of ships.
Huh?
You got to pay for all those tens of thousands of ships.
Yeah.
22,000 something.
Yeah. You just bought another 2 just sitting here. Okay. Let's see. Next up, Mr. Geo, go.
Yes, you guys can catch me at Geo Get Money on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube's. And look, on the contrary, I do like Elite Dangerous. I'm just fucking around. I seen a troll, so I just want to piss him off. I do like Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
It's just some things are just a little bullshitty, okay? But I love all these space games that are coming out. Trust me, I'm definitely down for it 100%.
All right. Last but not least, Miss Kate, I'm sorry. Miss Kate Russell.
I am at Kate Russell on Twitter. I spend far too much time on Twitter, so come and chat to me there. I also stream on KateClick, twitch.tv/KateClick, and I stream every week on 4 p.m. on a Sunday for 3 hours, and we do awesome community stuff in Elite Dangerous. And I guarantee you, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be getting myself some Star Citizen shizzle going on and trying it out. So if you've wondered about Star Citizen, I will do my first play on Star Citizen on my stream. So
very soon,
hook up with me on Twitch, and we'll have some fun.
Well, what time does your show on the BBC air?
So it's kind of complicated. I'm on a show called Click on the BBC, which is bbc.co.uk or bbc.com, depending on where you're from, /Click.
Mm-hmm.
Our schedule is we go out about 6 times over the weekend. And so go along to that website and you'll see the times, and you can see the reports on. And this week on the show, I made a holographic display out of a CD case. So a DIY. I did a Blue Peter on a DIY holographic display. And last week on the show, I showed you how to astro image. Create your own astro images from raw footage from NASA. So we do some pretty cool stuff on that show.
Sweet.
So,
Be sure you guys check out the links on the video when this thing is up on YouTube and all that. All right, real quick about me, Geekdomo. I am Geekdomo everywhere. But listen, right now I'm changing my streaming schedule. We're just about ready to have our baby BrainBot. BrainBot's just about ready to be born, and so I'm getting ramped up for that. So I'm doing a hell of a lot of work.
Is it going to have a beard?
It will have a beard, actually. Yes, and. It's going to come out very soon. Next, 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start getting ready for open beta. So if you guys are streamers who'd like to try it out, let me know. Just write me a message or something like that, and we'll get you in. But so that's what I'm going to be doing, a lot of that, and I won't be streaming as much for the next 2 weeks. But then back to my regular schedule. I put it up on the Steam group if you're over there. Now, everybody else, don't go anywhere. We're going to have After the Cast in about 5 minutes, so stick around, and we'll be right back. But thanks, everybody, for coming tonight, and have a good night, and we will see you all next week around the verse. See ya. Bye-bye.
Later.